How's it going, everyone? A Trout91 here for a video about Call of Duty Ghosts. So I'm actually in E3, well, I'm in LA at E3 at the moment, and I was given the footage from the All Access reveal that was on Sunday that I actually attended, and I didn't have time to do like a kind of thoughts about the game and opinions kind of thing, just because I've been busy. So I thought, well, I've got a couple hours to spare, I would do that now. So I was quite happy with what they showed at the All Access reveals. I thought they would show more. It was a very short event. They made it out to be that there was going to be a lot more shown, but you know, they're showing single player stuff, and obviously everyone wants to see multiplayer because that's what's going to keep you coming back to play it over and over again. And for some people, single players just doesn't even come into the equation when it comes to Call of Duty. Everyone's just focused on the multiplayer. I like the single players in Call of Duty. I think the campaign stories are usually pretty good. However, as of recent, the campaigns have kind of been a little bit lackluster in a sense, because a good campaign has a lot of variety and a lot of challenges that make it kind of different. And in the past couple ones like Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2, I felt that it's been a little bit slow. It's been very much, you know, you go from point A to point B, you're chasing that person, and, you know, there's a good 5 or 6 levels in a row where you're just running from point A to point B, chasing them, and then you eventually at the end of the campaign you kill the guy. But with some of the previous Call of Duties like Black Ops 1, Call of Duty 4, World at War, even was Modern Warfare 2, can I count Modern Warfare 2 was a little bit different as well. It's kind of similar formula where it went from point A to point B, but at the same time it was it kept, the environments were very different. They didn't keep it the same the whole way through, which was nice. And I think what I've seen from Black Ops 2, from Ghosts, is that they're changing up the dynamic of the campaign a lot. They're trying to keep each mission kind of unique, whereas before it hasn't been as unique as it could have been, which is something that, you know, is good. We want to see that kind of dynamic feel. We want the missions to change every time. Like here we've got the underwater mission, and the next one we've got a mission with the ghost. I mean the ghost and the dog. So it's good to see that kind of stuff, especially in the campaign. Now, how that's going to affect the multiplayer, who knows? There seems to be a lot of talk about, you know, speculation. I've seen like on a couple of videos there's clan tags and like writing on the guns, so we're going to see probably the reintroduction of, you know, clan tags on your guns, maybe some custom emblems in this one. Who knows how that's going to go. The game overall, like the graphics and stuff, it does look a lot like a vamped up version of Modern Warfare 3, which I have to say I was a little bit disappointed in, because this is the first time they're not using the Call of Duty 4 engine that they started with, so it's not like an upgraded engine, it's a completely new engine apparently, but it does look extremely like Modern Warfare 3. I suppose it can't, you don't want to change it that much. And you know, with your first title going onto the first new console, you would expect a huge kind of difference, something incredibly wow factor. I mean, all these game companies are coming out with some incredible stuff, and it looks like Call of Duty are kind of, apart from their evident upgrade in some graphics and technology that I put up a video about all the changes they're making in terms of the graphics and technology. It doesn't look like they've done a huge amount, which I can understand. You know, you don't, this console could last, you know, 10 years easily for the next 10 years, so you don't want to like blow can't think of a better word to put it, blow your load before you've actually had a chance to do much with it. You know, or you don't want to blow your load at the first hurdle, basically. And it looks like the Infinity Ward are kind of, you know, holding back on what they could potentially do with all the hardware that they've got, and they're kind of reserving themselves for the future titles, because they probably know they've got to make one for the next, you know, 10 years, every 2 years, so you don't want to go all out on the first one, if that makes sense. So as far as that is aware, it does look like you could tell the graphical difference, but it looks like they're holding back at the same time. But I'm excited to see what it is, because I thought Black Ops 2, for the multiplayer at least, was a very good step in the right direction. I think they got a lot of things right there. Obviously, there were some things that are not quite right, you know, like obviously shock charges can be a little bit of a pain. Some of the balance issues with guns, obviously that's always going to exist. Some are just better than others. You know, perks, not always correct, and some are obviously more prominent than other ones, but overall I thought Black Ops 2 was probably the best multiplayer we've seen for a while in Call of Duty. And I think if they do take that from Treyarch, they're gonna have a good, solid multiplayer. I mean, Modern Warfare 3 had all sorts of issues. Modern Warfare 2 had, oh my god, I can't even count how many issues that had. And since Call of Duty 4, they've seemed to struggle to get back into their kind of groove with the whole multiplayer. And it seems like Treyarch, every time they make the multiplayer, it gets better and better, and in the right direction. So I think they've got a lot to make up for in their previous installments. So as long as they kind of, you know, make sure they balance it all out, and they do some thorough testing, because I think that's something that they don't quite do before, we should see some great stuff. And I hope they do bring in Riley, like the Riley dog, as a kill streak, you know, like, I don't know, a 7 or 8 kill streak. Not like full-on dogs, but you get a tactical dog who can just, you know, go around and be a bit of a beast, really. It could be like a cross between an escort drone and, like, you know, an RC car, essentially. So you can, like, have it follow you around, and it will, like, attack if it sees someone. But it can also, you know, you get your tablet out and you can direct him around corners like an RC car could do. And I think that would be a good kill streak, to be honest. That would be a fun one, especially. You just see this dog running around with you. You got him on your lead, and you're just like, come on, boy, let's take him. So that should be fun to play around with. Like, as you see here, there's some graffiti and stuff on the gun, and the animations and stuff do look a lot like Modern Warfare 3, so but obviously the graphics do look a lot better and a lot prettier than they used to. This is actually a scaled down version. I think they've actually reduced the size of the files for me so I could download it easier, because the internet here is not fantastic, so that's helpful. But still, I'm excited for the one thing I want them to really get right with the multiplayer is the maps. I think we have had this period in Call of Duty where the maps have not quite been perfect. You know, it's been a while since a Call of Duty has come about where every map is kind of like, okay, I like this map, I like this map, I like this map. When it's kind of, in the past few, it's been, I like this map, I don't really like that map, this map is okay, I guess. If I had to play it, then okay, I don't like this map's alright. And it's kind of that iffiness in the past few Call of Duties, and they really do need to get the maps right for multiplayer. They need to kind of lay them out so you've got a good amount of area. You need to, like, what's the words I'm trying to say? To make a good map, you need to have multiple hotspots where the action is going to take place in multiple areas of the map. You can't just have this one area of the map where everyone's just going to come together and take each other out. You want to, especially for the objective game modes, you want to have lots of different routes and flanks and all sorts of areas that you can kind of get your advantages with. And I think especially that I disliked about Black Ops 2 is there's a lot of vantage points for snipers to get onto, and they could just sit up there, like for example Plaza with the 2 balconies overlooking the middle of the map. That was a pain in the arse. I really didn't like that about that map. It just really interrupted the flow of it, and it got very annoying that people could just sit up there for long periods of times. I think I did it at one point. Got like a 92-0 because I could just sit up there for, you know, and let my kill streaks do the work for me, and it does annoy me. And that's another thing. I hope that kill streak points do kind of stack up again in the way that Black Ops 2 did with the whole, you know, score streak system. I think that was a very smart move from Treyarch, and I would like to see a specialist kind of kill streaks come back. I want the point system for the classes to stay. That is something that is incredibly good, and it's a fresh and great idea, especially for competitive play. It changed up the whole dynamics of every game, especially objective game modes. But changing up the kill streaks, you know, is something that should be done very differently. And I think what they also need to do, this is something very small, but it's just like add how many points, like an actual number of how many score points you have in your score streaks, instead of, you know, just having this white bar that you can't really tell, because, you know, the bar stays the same size, obviously, and like, let's say your first kill streak is a very high end one, like, you know, the orbital VSAT, so it takes a long while to get back up, and then you get that, and then your next kill streak could be like 50 or 100 points after that, so it would just go straight up, and it does get a little bit annoying trying to get an idea of it, but that's just something to pick that's a bit nitpicky. But I don't know, we've got loads of time to kind of speculate stuff, but I'm excited for what they've got. I think they're doing good, especially with a single player, but obviously the multiplayer could be very different. Let's just hope that they do get the balance issues right and we get a fantastic game, because that's all we want. It's just a game that works. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later. Peace out.